Hello, everyone. I'm Stephen Lee, the Program Manager in Applied Mathematics for the Office of Science. Welcome to the Office of Science's informational webinar on Express, the 2023 Exploratory Research for Extreme Scale Science. Before we begin, I have a few logistics to go over. This meeting is being recorded. The webinar slides and recording of this meeting will be posted next week to the Office of Science website. We will drop a link into the chat. There are closed captions available. Please click on the closed captions button to enable them. After the presentation, there will be a question and answer session. Please use the Q&A box in Zoom to ask your question. With that, let's get underway. So again, welcome. This is a funding opportunity announcement from the Advanced Scientific Computing Research Program for Exploratory Research in Extreme Scale Science. There are a few key dates to keep in mind. First of all, the announcement came out on February 2nd, last week. The submission deadline for pre-applications is March 8th by 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and a pre-application is required. Once we receive all the pre-applications, we will give a response as to which are encouraged or discouraged for full proposals. And we'll do that by March 22nd by 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And then for the encouraged full proposals, the submission deadline is April 19th by midnight Eastern Time. And before I continue, I just will quickly add the caveat that this presentation merely summarizes the content of the funding opportunity announcement. If there are inconsistencies between the FOA and this presentation, or statements from DOE personnel, such as myself, the FOA is the controlling document. Okay, so for a little background information, this is the Office of Science at a glance. The budget for fiscal year 2023 is $8.1 billion. And I will quickly note that the Office of Science is the largest supporter of physical sciences in the United States. The funding is across more than 300 institutions, including the 17 DOE national laboratories. But this certainly includes universities and other organizations as well. In terms of a head count, we support nearly 29,000 researchers. And also in terms of our scientific user facilities, which has advanced facilities such as supercomputers and light sources and nanoscale research centers, we support nearly 35,000 users across those 28 Office of Science scientific user facilities. Of the total budget, about 35% of the research funding goes to universities. And just in a broad stroke, the scientific research that is covered is topics out of the offices of Advanced Scientific Computing Research, Basic Energy Sciences, Biological and Environmental Research, Fusion, Physics, and an isotope program. The funding also supports facility operations and a variety of other projects. In terms of the office from which this funding opportunity announcement comes, it's the Advanced Scientific Computing Research Program. So a little bit about ASCR is that the research lays the groundwork for scientific discoveries. It's done through our applied mathematics and computer sciences programs, where we have foundations to advance the understanding of the natural and engineered systems and to reveal scientific insight from high-end simulations, models, and data. We also have an advanced computing division that prepares us for the future of science based on emerging technologies and microelectronics. The ASCR facilities drive American global leadership in computing, data, and networking. We just crossed the finish line in terms of standing up an exascale supercomputer, and we also have an advanced scientific computing network, ESNet, that helps to integrate these wide variety of computing and data infrastructure. ASCR investments and partnerships enable scientific breakthroughs and advance America's economic competitiveness. We have world-leading programs and interdisciplinary research that enable scientific applications to take full advantage of computing and networking capabilities. And we have unique models of partnerships to accelerate competitiveness of American computing technologies, advanced manufacturing, and high-tech companies, large and small. So we also invest in people through our computational science graduate fellowship program that has been producing computational leaders since 1991. What you see on the right are some frontier scientific computing efforts that we have in leadership computing, quantum test beds, and awards from the Gordon Bell Prize that take advantage of these capabilities. But this also highlights that we are focused on emerging high tech and taking full advantage of the opportunities that they offer, that we're often dealing with equipment and problems at extreme scales, and that we want to support innovative research in that direction. So we have this ASCR Express program that looks at exploratory research for extreme scale science. And the topics vary from year to year. And for this fiscal year, 2023, we have 3 different topics for basic research to explore potentially high impact approaches in scientific computing and extreme scale science. The first topic is on modeling future supercomputing systems. The technical contact is Hal Finkel, who is here in the webinar. And of course, you'll need to look at the FOA itself, but just as an excerpt, if I could paraphrase, this looks at people who are proposing research to model supercomputing systems, providing at least a serial computational clock rate of 20 gigahertz, and that might plausibly be capable of providing at least 100 double precision exaflops while consuming no more than 20 megawatts, including the power for cooling. The second topic, also from Hal Finkel, the excerpt is to look at computer science research that aims to advance our understanding of how complex physical systems can be created, whose evolution in time is described by a system of differential equations, where those differential equations are produced by compilation of an expressive programming language. And then last but not least, the third topic is from Thomas Wang on quantum algorithms across models. And this focuses on research on converting quantum algorithms from one model of quantum computing to other models. So both Tom and Hal are in the webinar, and as technical questions arise in any of those 3 topics, they're available to help address those. Okay, so a little bit about award information. So we do have a finite budget. We have allocated up to $10 million in current and future fiscal year funds to support awards under this funding opportunity. The periods of performance are 2 years. So as we tried to emphasize, this is for exploratory research. We're really looking for quick explorations and feasibility of proposed ideas. The anticipated award size varies by institution. DOE Labs can request awards for $450,000 per year, and you see a listing of award sizes from other institutions and organizations as well. So when you add all this up, the expected number of awards will depend on the number of meritorious applications and the availability of those appropriated funds, which I mentioned were up to $10 million for current and future years. So again, if you have questions about this award information, feel free to ask in the Q&A. For pre-application requirements, a wide range of institutions are eligible to participate. Please see section 3 of the announcement. There are some limitations on how many pre-applications can come from an institution. So in brief, no more than a total of 4 pre-applications as the lead institution in a single or multi-institutional team, and no more than 1 pre-application or application for each PI at the applicant institution. When we receive pre-applications, which are required, they will be reviewed for responsiveness, and they will also be reviewed for competitiveness. Only the lead institution in a single or multi-institutional team should submit a pre-application. So the leader is the one that we'll expect to send the information through the pre-application. And there are some basic components. We'll need a cover page, the estimated budget, a table for that. And to help us in preparing for potential panel reviews, we will need a machine-readable PDF listing individuals who should not be merit reviewers. These lists could be of collaborators and other information as provided in the FOA, but we want to make sure that we don't have conflicts of interest as we prepare to organize panel reviews. So please see Section 8 of the FOA for details. As we move from the pre-application to discussion about the full proposals that we receive, applications that are encouraged will be subjected to scientific merit review, peer review, and will be evaluated against the following 5 criteria. These are listed in decreasing order of significance, though their importance is comparable. So just very briefly, we start with the scientific and or technical merit of the project, appropriateness of the proposed method or approach, competency of the applicant's personnel and adequacy of the proposed resources, reasonableness and appropriateness of the proposed budget, and finally, the quality and efficacy of promoting inclusion and equitable research plan. And again, there's full information about each of these criteria in the funding opportunity announcement itself. Some additional program policy factors as we have applications reviewed and we start to assess making awards. There are some additional program policy factors that we may consider in making selections. And these are listed in no order of significance. We want to look at potential synergies in relation of the proposed activities to other efforts that we're already supporting in ASCR, Office of Science, and DOE. We need to also consider the availability of funds, the relevance of the proposed activity to Office of Science priorities. We want to have a nice balance of activities. We can consider performance under current awards of the personnel. Look at institutional history of training and mentoring early career researchers. We want to ensure opportunities to investigators not currently supported by DOE. There's a commitment to sharing the results of the research, promoting diversity in investigators and institutions, increasing participation of institutions that have been underrepresented, and promoting PIs with a commitment to improving DEI in the STEM community. So again, there's a lot there, but we do weigh a lot of these factors in terms of how we arrive at our final selections and actual awards. So again, to recap, here are the key dates to keep in mind. The FOA was issued last week. According to my calendar, that the pre-applications are due in a month by 5 p.m. Eastern time. We will get back to you within a 2-week period on a decision on whether we are encouraging or discouraging the pre-application for a full proposal. And then the final application proposal needs to be in by April 19th. And then the final slide, again, for this and other FO funding opportunity announcement that the ASCR program is issuing, please see the link next to the FOA. For general questions about this funding opportunity, please send me an email. For technical questions about topics number 1 or 2, Hal Finkel is a technical contact for that. For the third topic area on quantum computing and model across models. Thomas Wong, email address is given there. For common questions that we have, again, there's a link provided, and for learning more about the ASCR program and the type of workshops and reports that we've generated, there's also a program documents webpage for that as well. So that concludes the slide presentation. I will stop sharing the slides at this point. And what we will now do is move to the Q&A session. And Mike Zarkin is on hand to also assist with that effort. And I will review to see if any questions have come in. And please drop those into the Q&A box as they come up. Okay, I do see some coming in as well. So let me take the first question. So for multi-institution proposals, do the budget amounts in Section E refer to the total budget of the multi-institution proposal, depending on who is lead institution? For example, $450K if led by a national lab, $200K if led by university, etc. Okay, so short answer is we have up to $10 million available for this FOA, and the total budget for a particular project is not specified. But we have limits on how much each institution can apply for. So yeah, the budget amounts are the limits on each institution within the overall project. Okay, and I will also look to my colleagues if there's any clarifications, whether Hal or Mike has a question. Let's see, another question. This may be related. What are the total project award limits for multi-institution projects? For example, if a lab leads and partners with MSI, does that mean a total of $500K for the whole project per year? So let's see. If a lab is partnering with the MSI, that lab can request a total of $500K as part of a potentially larger project. Okay.
And Steve, can I just add quickly?
Sure.
So,
please.
yeah, so the FOA allows for two mechanisms for applying using a multi-institution team. You can apply using subawards, or you can apply as collaborative using collaborative applications. If you apply as subawards, then the ceiling and floor of the lead institution apply to the whole project because everyone else is a proposed subrecipient of the lead institution. If you apply using collaborative applications, then the ceiling and floor apply to each applicant separately.
Terrific. Thank you, Hal. Okay, another question. Is there any breakdown of award funding for each research topic? Short answer is no. And let's see. Okay, let me take that. So the second topic, maybe Hal, you could address this. Second topic is not clear. Can you elaborate more on physical computing? What do you mean by neuromorphic? Do you mean by that neuromorphic computing applications?
Sure. The short answer is, while neuromorphic could certainly be one application, the topic is not specific to neuromorphic computing. The topic is designed to address an emerging area where physical systems, whether these are chemical reaction networks or other kinds of systems from everything from synthetic biology through nanotechnology systems, where the behavior of the system is described by a set of differential equations. These could be partial differential equations, ordinary, stochastic, or so on. But there's an area of computer science where these differential equations can be formed based on a programmatic description of what the behavior of the system should be. So there's a way of translating a programming language of some appropriate kind into the set of differential equations that describes a system of interest, so that it has the behaviors that are desired. And so the topic in this express topic aims to further develop the fundamental computer science behind this set of techniques.
Okay, thank you, Hal. Let's see, I have another question about would research proposals, and I'm not sure what topic this would actually fit under, which would research proposals dedicated to building innovation ecosystems through entrepreneurship teams connected to research institutions align with the needs and purpose of this funding opportunity? I'm not sure which topic that would correspond to, so I really can't address that directly. Let's see, additional questions that people may have. Question, are proposals without DOE labs not generally recommended? No, it can just be, having a DOE lab is not required to be part of the team. Other questions? Let's see, for topic number 2, so that would be how, does the proposal have to be led by a computer science PI or department only?
No. So the work proposed must be computer science work, but regarding which kind of department the potential PI sits in is not a concern.
Okay, that's answered. Another question, the start date for awards is not specified that I saw. When preparing proposals budget, should we assume starting at the beginning of FY24? Short answer is, I would have to check the FOA myself, but
Steve, that's
yes.
actually governed on page 34 of the FOA, which expressly says anticipated award start date of September 1st, 2023.
Excellent. That would have been my guess, but that's a definitive answer. Thank you, Mike. While we're on topic 2 again, for topic 2, could relevant physical systems considered be quantum systems? This could easily overlap with topic 3. So that would be
yes, that is a good question. Quantum systems are not specifically out of scope for the topic.
Okay. And let's see.
But let me just add that nevertheless, there has to be a governing set of differential equations that describe a system in the way that is prescribed by the topic.
Okay, and then another question for topic 2. Mechanical systems, are mechanical systems okay to generate the differential equation?
Yes, they are physical systems.
Oh, okay, yes. Let's see. Another question is, would you, I'm not sure if it shows up in one of the topics, but would you please define what use-inspired research means? I will quickly add that the purpose of the basic research is not for application-specific problems, that the basic research should be able to enable uses across a broad range of applications, and they may be inspired by some particular application, but should not be targeted specifically for one case in mind.
I don't believe the term use inspired appears in the.
Okay, we could do a search, but I don't know. Okay. Again, other Q&A.
Oh, Steve, if you don't mind, I'd like to augment the answer I was giving previously as well about the types of systems. I just want to also note that out of scope for this topic are techniques that are applicable only to a single application domain. So when proposing the topic, you have to identify multiple science areas to which the underlying techniques could apply.
Okay, thank you, Hal. And I will say, yes, I believe each topic has some out of scope criteria as well that are covered in the funding opportunity announcement. Okay, and again, I think it's very helpful to take a close look at the link to the FOA itself. And for topic 3, we have a question, Tom. Should deliverables aim to be software tools and numerical results usable by the broader community, or are theory-focused works acceptable?
So topic 3 focuses specifically on quantum algorithms. So if the algorithm is specified more in a theoretical sense, that could be fine if one wants to take the algorithm and actually implement it using software tools. That would also be fine, as long as it has algorithms.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Another question for topic 2. Do you want a motivating application which will be simulated by the proposed work? How?
Yes, there has to be some mechanism in place to evaluate the output of the compilation technique. So there has to be some mechanism for evaluating it, other than physically constructing the systems. So yes, in practice, there'll have to be some kind of way of simulating the system.
Okay, so a motivating application is needed. For topic area 1, which focuses on flops, yet flops go unused on current systems due to other factors. To what extent is research into effective use of flops relevant to this FOA?
Well, it's relevant because we are looking for modeling of systems that can effectively operate and provide computational capabilities to applications. And so if you're modeling systems that cannot be effectively used by applications, then that's not as useful as modeling systems that can be effectively used.
Okay, and thank you, Hal. Good. Sure. Okay. Any other technical questions about the topics or general questions about the funding opportunity and applying? We will give it a little bit more time. And again, this webinar will be posted on the website, I think by next week, if not earlier. And for topic number 2 is development of programming techniques to solve differential equations on quantum computers relevant to this topic.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, so Emily, that was not the intent of topic 2. Okay. And we'll probably give it another minute or so, it seems like the question stream is tapering off. So that may pretty much cover the questions that people had. And again, either contacting myself through email or Al and Tom for technical questions can be done as a follow-up to this webinar. So let me just ask, Mike, do you have any final words, or and then either Al or Tom?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just ask. I mean, I realize there are a number of questions on topic 2 and the scope, and I encourage you, if you're not familiar with this area, to consult the references. There are a number of citations to relevant papers, and if you're not familiar with the area and would like to learn more, then please look at them. It is a new area for us, and I think we chose references that will help you understand the topic.
Terrific. Okay. So with that being said, and after about a 3 or 4 minute pause in Q&A, I think we're ready to conclude this webinar. So I certainly thank all the people who attended and who have shown their interest by asking questions and giving a little bit more information about this topic area. We're excited about supporting exploratory research, and we think these are a very interesting set of topics to explore. So again, thank you for your time and attention, and we look forward to seeing what the community has in response to this opportunity.